Go ahead, Michael.
Josh, early in the game, defense was slowing them down a little bit. What sort of changed there?
It's just tough. We got to get off the field. They're getting chunks of yard at a time, and we just got to figure out something to get off the field and get a stop, and get the ball back to our offense.
Alex, from a momentum perspective, that second interception in the end zone, how much life did that take out of the offense?
I don't think it was any momentum thing. I think it's just coming out there play after play. It wasn't good, but I don't think that was anything to do with it. We still have the same mentality going back out there.
Of course, you got sacked a couple times late in the game. What was South Dakota State doing with the pressure that mixed you guys up at the end of the game?
They're coming out with different games. They're well coached. Came out there physical too. I think that's something that we needed to match better, and we didn't.
Go ahead.
All right, so Alex, it seemed like in that first drive that you guys got the ball going, running it. I know that SDSU had a very stout, very good statistics on the run defense. So did it just feel good to get that run game going, and do you wish that maybe that could have continued working off of the pass throughout the game?
Yeah, that first drive felt good to be able to move the ball. Felt better to obviously move it throughout the game and be more consistent with it.
Yeah, and then just for Josh, it seemed like South Dakota State kind of took a page out of North Dakota State's playbook with having the football for long stretches of time throughout the game. How frustrating is it as a defense when teams are able to have the ball and just march down take 8 minutes off the clock? Is there, and what was being said among the defense to try and counter that?
Yeah, I mean, it's frustrating, but it's also on us to get that stop, to get some push up front and make the tackles, closer to the line of scrimmage than we were. So just kept, telling each other keep fighting, try to get off the field. It's all we can do. And second half, we didn't do as good of a job at that.
Josh, with all the 3 and outs, was there any fatigue on the defensive side at all, just coming out into the field?
No, I wouldn't say that. No.
Josh, was this a weird game for you to play in?
Very weird. Yeah. Didn't really know how I'd feel at first. A lot of emotions, but I'm close to a lot of those guys on the team still. So just really unique situation.
Your team's in kind of a tough spot, being 1-4, but there's still a lot of football left. How can you guys rally, get this thing turned around? Because there's still time if you do start winning games to accomplish some of your goals.
Yeah, we just got to look at the film tomorrow, see what we could have done better, and just attack each week, try to go 1-0 every week. That's all we really can do, take it 1 week at a time.
Yeah, disappointing loss. South Dakota State's got a good football team. We knew we were going to have to do a lot of things right. Offensively, we didn't play good enough. We didn't play well enough to win. That's my fault. We've got to put our guys in better positions there against a really good defensive football team. We had the ball 3 times in the red zone, scored 3 points. You can't do that. And a little bit of momentum there with another score in the first half, certainly could have been helpful. At the same time, they did a great job of controlling the game in the third quarter with their run game. I think we only ran 3 or 4 offensive plays. I think we only had 1 possession in the third quarter, if I remember that correctly. And those 2 long drives, obviously, and the fact that they were able to put points on the board get you a little bit out of rhythm, and we're not very good right now when we're out of any kind of rhythm offensively.
Questions for Coach?
From an offensive standpoint, as they put together those long drives, how deflating is that, especially in that third quarter?
You have to be able to respond to them. It's the thing we didn't do 2 weeks ago against North Dakota State, when we had to lead at halftime. You got to respond. You have to respond when a team puts a long drive together, either by staying on the field, moving the ball, scoring yourself. We didn't do that again, so that's a problem that we've got to figure out a way to address moving forward.
from your perspective, what impact did Carson's second interception in the end zone have on the momentum?
It was a good play, you know, by their guy. You know, we had him in man coverage, which is what we expected to get. You know, that route gives you the ability to cross receivers, and you know, so from a call standpoint, you know, it was a call that you know, gave us a chance to execute. Their guy made a really good play on the ball. We could have ran the route a little bit better in terms of, you know, pressing that vertical and then trying to hit it on the back shoulder like he did. But, you know, give them credit. That was a great play by their kid.
Even Carson's turnovers this year, not a lot of them have just purely been misses. What was different about today?
Yeah, you know, they did a good job getting pressure on him, even with their four-man rush, and I think that, you know, I don't want to say rattled him, but I think, you know, he felt that. And as a result, you know, we never really got in any kind of rhythm throwing the football. You know, we had a couple of guys open. You know, on the first interception, he just underthrew. You know, that was a chance for us to make a big play, and you know, he underthrew that ball, and it turns out to be a turnover. You know, and you know, early in the game, those kinds of plays, everybody forgets he's still a very young quarterback. You know, those kind of plays are real confidence builders, or in this case, you know, maybe, you know, took a little confidence away. You know, we're going to watch the film. There's some things in the RPO game that I think we missed today. You know, we got to find a way to make sure that we're getting better looks for him in practice so that he doesn't miss those.
A lot was made of the difficult schedule, but, you know, taking losses like these, does that set back some of your goals that you set?
No, you know, the goals get better every week. I think, you know, if there's one thing that I'm really disappointed in is I don't think we got better this week offensively. You know, we're going to have to take a look at that and you know, and find a way to improve, because, you know, we've played a bunch of really good football teams. At the same time, you know, we've got a bunch of really good football teams left on our schedule.
Bob, what did SDSU's defense do? Did they blitz more than they have in the past? Were they just better at the line of scrimmage?
No, it wasn't, you know, you know, they did what we expected. They played a couple of formational looks a little bit different than what we thought we were going to get. You know, they did a good job of you know, being able to slow our run game down with some of their line movements. You know, early in the game, and took us out of, you know, one of the ways that we wanted to attack them. We struggled with that a little bit. And then, you know, when we threw the football, they got pressure on us. You know, we didn't, and you know, if Carson's first look wasn't there, we didn't have time to get to a second look. So I think it's a combination of things, you know, and offense is such a rhythm thing, and you saw it with them. You know, they got in rhythm running the football there. We had a hard time, you know, getting them off the field. But, you know, we had too many third and convertible situations that we didn't convert today. You know, third and not necessarily off schedule. The off schedule ones we struggled with, but we had a lot of third and fours. You know, even some third and threes that, you know, you got to get first downs, and we didn't do that, and so. Like I said, you know, I'll take the blame for that. We got to put our guys in better situations to be able to execute on those downs.
All right. Just with South Dakota State's run defense coming into the game, they were third in the FCS. It seemed like on that first drive, especially, you guys were having a lot of success. I know a 25-point loss is a 25-point loss. So how frustrating was it that their pass defense tended to seem like that was what was giving you the most fits? But also with the success in the run game, how can you build upon that in future games?
Yeah, I mean, we ran the ball okay. I wouldn't say we ran the ball well. You know, we ran the ball okay against a pretty good rush defense. But a team that plays rush defense like that, you've got to be able to throw it to complement that. And we didn't throw the ball very well today. You can't throw the ball for 44 yards in college football. Defensively, I thought, with the exception of maybe the third quarter, we played well enough to win. We forced some turnovers, did some things, but, offensively, we got to be better. We got to be better. We got to figure out, a little bit in terms of identity right now. We're struggling with that. We've been struggling with that all year. Thought maybe the bye week we had cleaned some stuff up, but we still got some work to do.
And then on the defensive side, South Dakota State having those long drives again. What were they doing to get your defense out of position on certain plays, and is that going to be fixable just with?
I don't know if it was getting out of position. They did a really good job on those two drives of staying in manageable third down situations and then converting the third downs. I'd have to go back and look at both of those drives in the third quarter, but I think we probably had at least 4 or 5 third down situations in those two drives combined. But they were able to convert them, and that's really the difference. Even though we played pretty good third down defense, the third down conversions on those drives and the ability for them to get those two drives in the end zone were a big difference in the game.
And for one more, comparing it to previous years, how exhausting have these first 5 weeks been?
The bye week was good. We got a few guys back. Not everybody, but we got a couple guys back that were able to play today. It's tough when you play 3 of your first 5 on the road. That's a tough schedule, particularly when you've played the quality of opponents that we've played. But we've not made any excuses about that. That's what our schedule is. That's what we got to play. And the only thing I'm disappointed is, I really felt that we've played. We've played at times, really, really good football through the course of those games, just not a complete game. And, today I just say, I didn't think we played very well offensively the whole game. So, we got some work to do there, and we're going to get, back to work tomorrow on that.